The National Football League's New York Jets always find a way to disappoint their fan base. This year, the worst thing they did for us was give us a sense of hope that we could actually do something with this team, actually go far, actually make the playoffs for once in over 10 years is what it feels like. It might be longer, but I don't know. And they always do this. They always find a way to disappoint us, and they self-destruct it. And I always tell my friends, it starts at the top. It's more of an organizational thing. It starts with Woody Johnson, and firing Robert Saleh, not a good thing at the beginning of the year after 4 games, because you look at good football teams that go far, that have good players, have an identity, and they don't make decisions like that. They don't fire their coaches in the middle of the season, beginning of the season. They might wait until the end of the season to make some sort of big decision like that, because 9 times out of 10, what it's going to do is it's going to create more problems in the locker room, and it's going to make it harder for the team to focus on winning, because winning is already hard enough to do in the NFL. And when you have distractions coming along the way, it makes it that much more challenging. So, firing Robert Saleh, not a good thing. Firing Joe Douglas, probably the best GM we've had in a long time. Like, he's done a fantastic job as far as drafting, trading, getting players in the right position on our team to make an impact. Like, I don't know a GM, as far as that we've had in the past over 20 years that I've been a fan, that has done as good of a job as him. You know, getting Wilson and then getting Sauce Gardner in the same draft, getting Quincy Williams, getting Johnson from FSU, getting McDonald, all these different guys, getting Bryce Hall, getting all these guys that are really good and putting them in a good position with Robert Saleh, giving him a chance. You know, I think this would have been his 4th year as the Jets head coach, and you could start to see that even last year they were building their identity as a team that thrives on their defense, and all their offense needs to really do is run the ball, try to control time management, clock management, and possession of the ball, so that they don't have to overwork their defense and just not make mistakes, and they would win. But instead, we don't do that. We fire the coach. We put an interim coach in. We fire the GM that was really good. And now we're like 3-10. We're shitty. We're a bad football team. And there's no real sign of us going in the right direction. And to be honest, with the Aaron Rodgers trade, I wasn't a fan of it at the time. I wanted Justin Fields because this is a young football team to start with, so you want someone that's going to be around in the long run. But, you know, Aaron Rodgers was Aaron Rodgers, so I was okay with that trade. But the only thing I didn't like, and I still don't like, is having Nathaniel Hackett as the offensive coordinator, because he's shown on his track record that he's not a good coordinator. He's not good at his job. He's been carried by Aaron Rodgers throughout his career in Green Bay, and then when he was separated from him in Denver, given the opportunity to lead a football team, to coordinate a team without a Hall of Fame quarterback, he didn't know what he was doing. And they let him go. And to be honest, with the Jets, he should have been the first person that we let go. But we didn't. We kept him to appease Aaron Rodgers. We give Aaron Rodgers the keys to the kingdom, and it totally backfired. And some people have said in the sports analyst world that this could go down as the worst trade in NFL history. And to be honest, I think it has, because the expectations were we are one quarterback away, and Aaron Rodgers has been terrible. And regardless, like, I understand that coming off an Achilles injury is very challenging at the totality of it, but, you know, given his age too, like, I give him a lot of credit for being able to come back and play, but the expectations were to win. The expectations were that we need one quarterback just to help elevate this team, to lead this team, and to not make mistakes. And he hasn't lived up to that. So I wouldn't be surprised if we let him go next year. But at the same time, you got to think, like, who are we going to have? Who are we going to take after that? Like, there's no real hope or sense for the future. And that all stands on Woody Johnson. And it's really disappointing as a fan because I was hopeful, and now I feel like we're like 10 steps back from where we wanted to be, and there's no sense of progression or no sense of like what this team is going to do. It just feels like the Jets are going to jet, like we get made fun of all the time, and we're going to suck, and we're going to continue to suck because our owner refuses to stand by the people that he hires and let them do their jobs. And honestly kind of shits his pants and just makes decisions very suddenly and rashly. And, you know, as we can see, it's really kind of backfired on him. And honestly, if I was him, I would either give up ownership or just bring some people in that he can trust, or not even he can trust, but that like know what they're doing and allow them to do their job. And I don't know how we're gonna make that better. I don't know who to bring in. I like the coaches and the GM that we had, but we'll see. So yeah, being a Jets fan, it's frustrating, it's disappointing, and they always find a way to let us down. This year being, they give us a false sense of hope. So hopefully it's better in the future. That's it. See ya.